things that you can do with your paintings. You could take and make these cute little boxes, these little stacking boxes. Oh, look. Oh, wait a minute. Here's a Bob Ross thing in here. What does... Oh, I know what this is. So, one of the things I did is I made an accordion book out of that. That shouldn't have been in there. But anyways, you can take, and you can see this is the back side of that painting, but you can make your own little unique boxes. Now, when we went to a meeting, I don't know if it was like last year or what, but Sharon had given us directions onto how to make gift bags. This was from Tom Lynch's workshop a while back. I know some of you probably already have this, but I went ahead and I took an old painting and I made my little gift bag. You know, this is using a 16 by 20 piece of paper, but, pardon me? Yeah, you can certainly do that. And then inside of that, let's see, I have another, here's a little mini one I did. You know, so you can make small ones, and then I have one here that's, you can see when you teach, I have like a lot of these little samples. Somebody comes up and says, how do I do whatever? And I'm like, doing it again. But anyways, you can make these little bags that Sharon shared with us any size you want, from little ones to big ones, depending on your paper size. You can make them fat, you can make them tall and narrow, you could make them, you know, whatever way you like. One of the things, too, that I do is I make bookmarks out of my cut paintings, and I have a stamp with my name on it and my face and my website and stuff on it. So you can do that. You can also do little gift or little tags, things like that. Here's another one here. All sorts of different things that you can do. Remember I told you sometimes I would just stamp and do some crazy things on top of a painting. Here's one that's stamped. I have a lot of boxes. That means I've taught this a lot. So today what I'm going to do is we'll take a little bit of a break, and then maybe at about 2:30, that's about 15 minutes, or is that too long? 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right, I'll just give a shout out when it's time for us to come back, and I will tell you what we're going to do. But one last thing I want to share, because this is my little treasure. I did this project in one of my classes at Sun City, and where's Mary Francis? Mary Francis, who's in my class, came in with a box very similar to this, that this lady, how old was she, Mary? Her 95-year-old neighbor gave Mary Francis a box of candy. And when she opened it, inside the box were all these little boxes. And Mary Francis had one that had, like, I don't know, hope, friendship, and hers were more pastel-y. And so I told Mary, I was like, I want one of those. It is like so cool. So she mentioned it to her neighbor, and her neighbor made me a Christmas one. And within this, her boxes are different because they're all origami boxes. And she was a math professor, teacher, whatever. And so, of course, hers are all more even than mine. But anyways, I mean, look at that. And what a gift. I mean, the perfect low-calorie candy box. I mean, this is the way, but if you really wanted to do something special, you could put little notes inside, you could put little candies, you could put, I mean, use your imagination. But I thought, you know, this is a treasure. Yeah, a treasure. So, so many different things. Just take some of these ideas and go forth with them, okay? So far, before I let you go, before we start our project, anybody have any questions about anything? Not a one? What I want to do is, if there's some of you that want to learn how to make this box, you can do it along with me, and I brought just cardstock for you. And I'll tell you, you could sit here and watch, but if you do it, it'll get in your brain. Now, I had my grandson making these, and he decided to make a box and put a Christmas gift for everybody in his family. And after he made the first one, I just watched, and he went boom, boom, boom through all the other ones. So they're very, very simple, But I think if you do it, then you'll actually have the box. And then if you forget how to do it, you will at least have something like this that you can take apart and remember how to do it. Okay? So right now, if you feel like making one, you can take 2 pieces of any color cardstock. One will be for the color for the top, one will be the bottom. Or if you brought your own paintings, you can take a piece of cardstock for the bottom and use the painting for the top, like I did. Or you could use 1 or 2. 2. I would use different colors, so Barb. One different one for the top and different one for the bottom.
I've become my table's construction person.
There you go. Yeah. So if you brought your own painting, the requirement is both pieces of paper have to be the same size. If you brought your own painting. And then I do have some scissors and glue if for those that don't have it, but I will be doing one up here. I think I'll do this one. I'll use a yellow. Yeah, so go ahead and cut it to the smaller piece. So if you have a painting and then your smaller piece, you can arrange your smaller piece where most of your design is on your painting instead of the white side. Remember, the bottom has to be smaller than the top. And I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really, really quite simple. Okay, everybody ready? First thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to do mine in marker just to show you, is I'm going to take a straight edge. Now you could use one of the edges of your paper, and you're going to go corner to corner, and I'm going to hold this up and show you. You're going to do this on both pieces of paper. You can even do it freehand if you want, or you can do a straight edge. What's that? Oh, okay. So I'm taking a yellow piece and an orange piece. Now, something that I used to have my students do when we did this out of cardstock is I would have them embellish this. They could stamp on it. I used to have them write like friendship, 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 something over and over and over. And that calligraphic writing made a really nice pattern on the top of the box. So if it's a birthday gift, you can write happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, and just continuous, continuous. And it makes a really nice pattern. Yes? It doesn't have to be a pen. It could be a pencil. Right here. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is make sure you have 2 identical sized papers. And you're going to find the center of each paper. So right here, I'm going to put a dot. There's my center. And there's my center. I was going to do this on the whiteboard, but I don't think I really need that. I'm doing both on the cardstock, but you can do both on your 2 watercolor papers, or one could be a cardstock, one could be a watercolor paper. On the painting side or the other side? On the back side of the painting, yeah. So if you're using a watercolor painting, you make your X's to find the center of your rectangle on the back side of your painting. And by making the 2 diagonal lines, that's how you can find the center. Now, one thing I would encourage you to do is decide what is going to be the top of your box and what is going to be the bottom. In my cases here, I had my painting as the top and just a plain piece of paper as the bottom. So if this is going to be my top, I'm going to just put somewhere here a T for the top, a B for the bottom, just so I can remember. Yeah, you can even do it freehand. So how do you make a straight line freehand and make it perfect? What part of your body do you use? Michael. Shoulder. Hold this, hold it tight, and just bring it down. Hold it tight and bring it down, and you will have a really straight line. Not this kind of thing, not using your wrist. You just pick the prettier color for your top. And then put a T or put a B. Now, on the paper that has the B, you're going to, about 1/8 to 1/4 inch above that dot, you're going to make a little square like this. Yeah, a little one, because what's going to happen in a few minutes, we're going to do some folding, and we need a little space above the dot or on the side of the dot or on the bottom of the dot. So making a little square around the dot will help you. And that space is no more than 1/4 inch. Now we're going to start folding. On the top, the one that's going to be for the top, you're going to take this side of your paper and you are going to bring it down. I'll just do it here real quick. You're going to bring this side of the paper down to the center of the box. I mean, to the dot. Yes. You're doing the top right now. So it's going to almost look like a Kleenex, like a tissue. And you're going to do this on all 4 sides. So I have this done, and score it really well. You're going to open it up, and you're going to do it on the other side. So now I'm doing it on this side, and I'll go and do it on the other. So it looks like this. I have the top that folds, the bottom that folds, the 2 sides that fold. And while you're standing, sitting, whatever, just keep taking your fingernail and getting these edges nice and scored down. So that's all folding. Yeah, very good. Now we're going to go to the bottom. And in order for the bottom of the box to be smaller so the top can fit over it, you're going to take this and you're going to go to the far end of that little square you made. I'll do mine first to show you. So if you can see, I didn't go to the dot. I went beyond the dot to the top edge of that little square that I made in the center. And on the other side, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to do the same thing to go to the opposite side of that little square. And all this is doing is just creating this box to be a little bit smaller. And we're almost done. We're working on the top, now we're working on the bottom. So the one that has the little square in the center, when you fold it down, it goes to the far end of that square. See how this is here? Far end. So you're going over the dot. We made the little square to remind you to go over the dot. It just makes it easier. Once you do this, you'll just remember to make the bottom piece a little bit small. Yes. Are you on the bottom? Are you on the bottom? So you're going to go beyond the dot to the side of that little square. So basically, you go beyond the dot to make it, this box is going to be a little smidgen smaller. All right, we're going to assemble the box. And, you know, at this point, if your paper isn't totally covered, you can add a little bit more paint where there's white areas. You know, I think on some of mine, like here where I had tape or something from the painting, I could actually go in and fill that in a little bit. Or like here where there's hardly any color. If I want to, I could just put some color there. Okay, we're going to take these two little flaps and we're going to cross them over like this. And that's where you're going to put some glue. Now, I want to say one thing about Elmer's glue because so many people think it's the kids' glue. Elmer's is great. And the way you use Elmer's is you just take a little bit of this glue. You don't use it so it's white. You have to get it so it's really thin to have it ooze out like that.
And then you can peel it off.
Yeah. Yeah. Do it with a group of kindergartners and see how fun that is. So what you're doing here is just put a little bit and make sure it's kind of, you know, if you have to take another piece of paper or your finger or something, but just get it so it's like that, where you can't see it. It's just clear. And then if you let it get a little tacky, it will stay like forever. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it to the inside. Bring them both to the inside like that. You can hold it there for a second. And then all you're going to do is you can take a little bit more glue here, or you can just fold it down. And you're going to do this to both the top and the bottom. So it looks like this. Put a little bit of glue on this little lip part here, this little flap. And because there's so much repetition, it'll be in your muscle memory. So what you do to this side, you go ahead and do to the other side, and you do it to the other box.
You're folding that over.
Yeah, I'm just flapping them over.
And that's the end of it.
That's the end of the box, pretty much, yep. So you do it to the top and bottom, and we will be done in about 4 minutes. We will. Yeah, and one thing I didn't say and I didn't bring, but yeah, doing the book covers and stuff with your paintings, like covering all that is just, yeah, a lot of, there's just so many things to do. I used to paint on silk and do the silk book covers. At one time or another, I think I have. The bottom will automatically be smaller. This is the bottom of my box. Anybody need help? And then you go and same thing to the top. Yeah, and this will just be a prototype, you know. There's glue and glue sticks up here for anybody that might need it. Did yours work? Perfect. Isn't it just kind of a neat little, put a nice cute little ribbon on that and you're all set. All right, if you have your box done, hold them up so we can see. Okay, just hold them up. Put a cute little ribbon on this. Voila, you are done. But do use your watercolor papers. It works, see? Can I just hold yours up? Because look at how pretty that is with the sunflower on there. So, you know, you can take parts of your painting. If you have one big painting, cut it in half and use one. You can make 2 boxes out of it with a a cardstock bottom, or you can use the top and bottom of a watercolor, you know, but really nice. Okay? All right, well, I hope everybody enjoyed that, and think we're done. Announcement. For those of you that don't know, I will be hosting a cruise from Barcelona to Rome in September. And I'm taking a group of watercolor artists, some that are here today that are going with me. So if you've ever wanted to do some plein air painting in the Mediterranean,